No, the button has been hit. Has the button been hit?
The button has been hit.
The button has been hit, Seven. Okay? I need you to not do what you're doing. That's disgusting. You're disgusting.
It is really only distracting to you, and it's not distracting to me until you bring it to the show.
Well, life's full of distractions, sir. I don't know what you want me to
That's
tell
very
you.
true. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider.
Intro?
Yes.
Are you going to give him that little bit?
No, I was just going straight to the intro. I was going to cut that part off.
Don't cut that part off, and let me tell you why you shouldn't cut that part off.
Okay.
When you come on to All Things Super, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, his, hers, thems, and all, all right, welcome. But when you come to All Things Super, it's like you're involved in a conversation. It's like you're coming into a warm hug from out the rain. It's cold outside, and All Things Super is just wrapping its love all around you with this conversation.
Unless you are south of the equator, it is very hot outside.
The hug is filled with love, not warmth, like hot. It's just like embracing. Let it embrace. You know what? Do the intro.
I am one of your hosts, Spider, and
don't cut none of it.
All of that was Mr. VIP Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
I am infinitely awesome, sir. If I can get my hand empty enough to do my salute to everybody that watches our show. And shout out to the truck drivers. We know who moved their weight. I've always wanted to say that. And I
what stopped you?
People misinterpreting things, you know. They actually move tonnage. So
yeah.
But it may be misinterpreted. Okay. And I don't want nobody getting pulled over. Mr. VIP ratted me out. Talk about I move that weight. So they actually move tonnage. Shout out to all the captains that's driving freight liners, moving megatons.
There you go.
There you go. And the bus drivers that's carrying the most precious cargo in existence. People? It all sounds like it's drug related. But it's not codes. What?
I don't know where you come with this.
Hey, we know why we're here.
We do know why we're here. But if you don't know, this is All Things Super, where every week we take a piece of superpowered movie, trailer, TV shows, we watch them, we react to them, we break them down, and we ask the question, is it super?
Is it?
Is it?
Is it?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But if you like that, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And if you want to join in on the conversation, just tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
Going crazy over here.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. It's just going crazy. That's it. Hey, here's the thing. When people come to the show, the ones that really follow us, right? You guys should know this already. The one thing that's consistent about this show is it's what? Say it with me.
Inconsistent.
That is delicious. You would think I made this myself.
Anyway, we are going to be reacting to the newest trailer of the, I don't even know what they're calling it now.
They're calling it Kraven the Hunter.
No, not the movie. They're talking about the Sony Spider-Man universe.
Oh, it's the Spider-Verse.
No, it's not the Spider-Verse. This is something completely different. The Spider-Verse, the only part of the Spider-Verse has been animated. Animated Spider-Verse has not been tied into the live action. Verse? It was called the Sony Pictures universe of Spider-Man characters or something like that, because it wasn't always just
villains.
Like
Shield.
Because you still have Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man franchises are still part of Sony, so they still are technically within that universe.
Right.
But
Let's call it the Sony Marvel lended, because eventually Disney is going to buy Sony and get Marvel's characters back, Universal
I don't
villains.
think so. I think that Sony is gonna, unless Disney is prepared to offer Sony a huge sum of money, I don't think Sony is gonna let go of what they have their hands on.
What happened with George Lucas? They offered him a huge sum of money. What happened with Marvel? They actually offered them a huge sum of money. Hey, I think
But
they
I don't
just
think they're gonna
bought
do
back.
that just for
I think
Spider-Man though.
I think they just bought back the rights for the Hulk.
They're still in negotiations because Universal still has some like stipulations about ownership of the characters. Because it's not just a Hulk. I think it's a Hulk and some other characters too.
Yeah, Smash Brothers.
Smash Bros. Is Nintendo.
It's not the Hulk Smash,
Agents
Agent
of
Smash.
Smash.
Yeah, say it's close enough. The Hulk Smash Brothers. Nah. Hulk Smash. The point of what I'm saying is it's only a matter of time before they cut a check to Sony. If I was Sony, the iterations like Miles Morales and Across the Spider-Verse and Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse only makes that asking price go up.
Right, and I think they're gonna just keep holding on to that so they can keep driving the asking price up.
Yeah, but that don't mean Disney don't have the money to back Marvel's
Oh no, no,
acquisition.
no! Nobody's saying that Disney doesn't have the
The,
money.
the
Is
House of
if
Mouses were literally printing their own Disney bucks at Disneyland.
it's
So
just if they're willing to pay what Sony's asking price is.
they'll do
And
it.
that's just I don't know. I don't know.
They'll do it.
It's yet to be determined.
Spider-Man merch is the biggest selling merch in I would say, the planet.
And as long as, because here's the thing about it, is basically what Tony Stark, well, not Tony Stark, we talked about this in the last episode for the Flash, what Robert Downey Jr. did as Iron Man, rather than getting paid a contract price for filming Iron Man, for playing Iron Man, he took residuals. He took a percentage. I want a percentage of the gross, percentage of the profits, all that other kind of stuff. So as long as that movie is making money, Robert Downey Jr. will be making money. And this is the same thing that's going on with Sony. As long as they can have partnership with Marvel and they're making Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man TV shows, Spider-Man cartoons, Spider-Man related properties on Disney Plus, as long as they have a percentage of that and Marvel keeps cranking those things out, and Sony will keep making money. Once Sony sells the rights and says, okay, you can have it back, it's 100% yours, then everything that Marvel makes from that point on, Sony doesn't see any of it. So you can ask for $5 billion right now. At some point, that $5 billion is going to run out. However, if these Sony movies keep making billions of dollars in perpetuity, then I'm going to always be getting paid. So I don't think Sony really has any incentive to let that go.
You're absolutely correct. Everything you just said is correct. And I want you to know that you're correct. And that's why Disney said we're going to buy the whole company.
Now, just buy all of Sony.
All of it. The headphones, the PlayStation, all of it.
TVs,
listen, they
stereos.
bought Fox. They Fox and they have The Simpsons, they have Hulu. Mm-hmm. Listen, they've been monopolizing, so you can't say that they can't have a monopoly.
Oh, no,
they'll just wait for something else to come up to kind of offset the balance, and then we can acquire them now.
Right.
And this is all speculation, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. VIP Frankie Washington does not have any inside tips, tricks, or trades. So before anybody starts sending anyone after me, this is all
he's giving away too many secrets. Go ahead and it's an routine.
Theory. This is a theory. This is a theory. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
But we know that Sony has released a number of Spider-Man related character movies. We've had Venom, we've had Venom, Let There Be Carnage, we've had Morbius,
all villains of Spider-Man. So
do we really want to call Venom a villain? Because or any of them for that matter?
The Lethal Protector?
Because they've all framed themselves in these movies as anti-heroes. Right. Whereas in the comics, you know, Venom had been mostly portrayed as a villain. Morbius is sort of a reluctant villain. And even with Kraven has always been a villain. Kraven, I want to say maybe for a couple of comic book runs, he's been like an anti-hero type figure. But for the most part, as Kraven has been portrayed in media, cartoons, video games, most of the comic books, Kraven has always been a villain. And I think the thing about it is that you make a movie centralized around this villain type character, you have to. It's hard to try to make a villain likable in order for this entire movie for them to be doing villainous things and have an audience get behind them while they're doing those villainous things.
Like, it can be done.
It can be done because we and a lot of times we use the examples of Killmonger, we use the examples of Thanos as these relatable villains where they have a purpose of what it is that they're trying to do, and for the general audience, we understand those motivations. Like, we understand where Killmonger was coming from, we understand where Thanos was coming from, we understand what Thanos was trying to achieve. The way that they go about it, those methods, most people don't approve of. But that's the mark of a good villain. You can relate to them, but at the end of the day, they're still the bad guy, and you rally behind the heroes. Now, when you have a movie that is just centrally focused on that bad guy, then they can't be 100% a bad guy, because then you don't really rally behind them. You're not rooting for them to win. You want, unless they're a really compelling villain. And I think that at this point, Sony hasn't necessarily done that.
I don't think anybody will.
I don't think they will either. Because it goes against the mindset of the general public.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You reference a bunch of great movies that, Michael B. Jordan killed the Killmonger role, and he has such a relatable methods and motives, and you can understand his backstory, especially when he confessed, you took everything from me.
But my daddy would put claws in his chest.
And that's so horrible, because don't those claws retract? So,
yes. I have said to this day, I don't think he said like he literally had like claws. I think he was like the marks.
The marks in his chest.
Marks from the claws. But the thing about it is that Black Panther, he was wearing his suit. T'Chaka was wearing the suit. The suit's bulletproof. So if Njobu was running towards him with a gun to shoot him, he would have been fine. Unless he would have got shot in the head, but then he still had Dora Milaje with him, so they would have still protected him anyway.
No, you're not remembering what happened. Well, he was shooting his friend. He was shooting I cannot forget this great actor's name. Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker's character. And he jumped in front of the bullet. Well, he didn't jump in front of the bullet. He ran up to him and clawed him.
Right.
But he was still trying to save him from getting shot.
They had the technology. Wakanda has always been a technologically advanced culture. Even if Zuri would have got shot, they could. Even if Zuri would have got shot, they could have took care of him.
Hole in his head. All right. What, a hole in his face? Look, I don't know about that. Vibranium ain't that.
I don't think Njobu was aiming for his head. I don't know about all of that.
Hey, but all I'm saying is that wasn't willing to take.
All I'm saying is that T'Chaka didn't have to kill him.
I'm saying this because of the stories that they're telling of having such a compelling argument from an intelligence side, this versus this, and they won't have a actual villain. I think that's what kind of hinders some movies. You need villains.
It needs that struggle between good versus evil.
You need somebody like the Joker, and I'm thinking back at the Joker's or one of his origin stories that people don't want to acknowledge as the origin story, the Red Hood event, like the one good day. Thought process that anybody could snap, anybody can go villain. Yeah. If you have these series of unfortunate events that keep dawning on you, and you see no way out, you just turn towards the dark side, and now you're doing things. You're so far gone, you don't even realize you're so far gone because you're looking at agenda, person in the way. Boom. Get them out of here. They're in my way. And when you cross that line, you become one of the most dangerous villains in anybody's universe.
Right.
But they won't do
And
that.
the thing that, and we've talked about this before because we've run into this issue with, you know, Captain America going up against the Winter Soldier, Iron Man going up against Ironmonger, Thor going up against Loki. You have the protagonist and the antagonist being the opposite sides of the same coin, right? T'Challa going up against Killmonger. They at that point when they have their final fight, they basically have the same power set, right? And
Supposed to be.
we have
Which I don't understand why Killmonger died anyway. He was still under the heart-shaped herbs influence or effects.
well, I mean,
So
you get
don't wounds heal?
I don't know. I don't know.
We clearly seen the wound heal on
but he stabbed him with
T'Challa.
a vibranium weapon, so I don't know.
He was stabbed with a vibranium weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Or we saying M'Baku's spear wasn't vibranium?
Well, I mean, that's the difference between a fatal wound and a non-fatal wound.
It healed.
But what I'm saying is that even with the Sony movies, with Venom Let There Be Carnage, and with Morbius, the antagonists of all three of those movies were the exact same power set of the protagonist. Venom and Riot, Venom and Carnage, Morbius and what was his friend's name? Milo. Just the same. And it's just is that what we're gonna get? Right. Is that what we're gonna get? Because Kraven's whole thing is that Kraven is the apex predator, and Kraven's main goal is to try to find a prey that is worth hunting, a challenge that is worth his time. And if we don't have, because Spider-Man has been his greatest challenge to date, right? And if we don't have Spider-Man in this movie, then who is he going after?
I guess we're about to find out in this trailer.
I know. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Kraven the Hunter.
Okay.
You got spiders.
You got spiders. Hey, it's Kick-Ass.
Yes, it's Aaron Taylor Johnson.
My son, never show mercy.
Okay. Are we a super soldier? Because we just ripped the car off.
Yeah, he's something.
The door.
The predators.
Hey, Russell Crowe.
Hey, it's Russell Crowe.
Boys, your mother is dead.
She died.
That's a very horrible way to say it.
In her mind. You know my business.
Also, not nice.
Power is about strength. If you show weakness, you will give our enemies an opening. Shoot.
Somehow he didn't shoot.
He is weak, like his mother. Leave him.
What happened?
That's horrible. Oh, nice twist.
I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self.
So they're doing this, stepping away from the Russian accent.
Listen, it's not how blood works, but it's a superhero movie. Anti-villain.
Once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
There's 6 of us, and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
Why do you
That was animalistic.
My father puts evil into the world. I take it out.
So anti-hero.
Yep, you called it.
You are exactly like our father. Just another man hunting for a trophy.
We're murderers. Isn't that what he taught us? You don't get to do that to me anymore.
Mr. Taglin? Mr. Taglin? Where's Mr. Taglin?
Oh, you're standing in him.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now?
There is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Okay, that's a reveal that I didn't know we were going to get in the trailer.
The universe of Spider-Man's villains. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's the Spider-Verse for villains. So we now have, because we tried Paul Giovanni's Rhino.
That was just.
First of all, Paul Giovanni is a phenomenal actor.
He is, but
say that.
they gave him nothing to do in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
He could say, "I am the Rhino." Why nobody didn't just shoot him in the face right there? I have no idea. But now we'll have the Rhino somewhere crossing along with Spider-Man. They have many, many, many years to work on the CGI. So even if you don't like it now, they'll work on it. And then he'll fight the Rhino.
I didn't even really, I don't know, I guess I didn't really look at it that much, but it didn't really bother me.
Which one, the Rhino or this Rhino?
No, this Rhino's CGI.
You'll see it when his skin gets thick. Here's the thing, Hugh's lion. We're going to have some type of genetic engineering of this lion. Is this lion from a lab? Why does blood, again, that's not how blood works.
Just gives him animalistic instincts.
I was good all the way till we went Nightcrawler. When we went Nightcrawler,
he started hopping off the walls.
100% lost me with Nightcrawler. Because again, that's not how blood works. And everything else, I was kind of, it's kind of like Shang-Chi.
I mean, that's the way that Bruce's blood worked for Jennifer Walters.
Yeah, but Bruce is already the Hulk. So this lion has to be already a mutant lion from a lab.
Maybe.
Or something.
I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. The lion escaped and it was sent out there to catch it. I don't know.
Possibly. If you want to tell me that, I can accept that. But I just can't accept blood in your blood and now you're Tarzan in the city. But, hey, maybe I need to go ahead and turn that brain all the way off and enjoy the ride. But,
One thing that I don't understand is because Kraven is famously known to be Russian, Serbian.
Have a strong accent.
Have a very strong Russian-like accent.
This one's from...
He's from
Where's Wanda from?
Sokovia.
He's from Sokovia.
No, not even that, because his literally his accent is more just British. It just sounds it sounds like Aaron Taylor Johnson's regular speaking voice, and
listen, Aaron Taylor Johnson and stuff. He was so good in Money Train or Bullet Train.
Yeah,
sorry, Bullet Train, and it's just. I know this was supposed to be the one. They talked about this being the one for a long time. He can only work with what he has, like you said. Because again, Kick-Ass is
great,
legendary.
But I don't understand why Russell Crowe has the Russian accent as their father, but he doesn't.
Well, you see, he moved to the city as a young boy. Right around the time he got mauled by a lion and got lion blood in him. Why is this father such a dick?
Well, I mean, he's the bad guy.
Dead.
He's the bad guy. She's dead because she was weak.
She's dead because she was weak. I'm like, wow. Why were you with her if you felt like this? You know what I mean? Make it make sense. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, clearly they were hunting. I don't know.
That is a big ass lion, though.
That's a huge lion. It's a huge lion. Now, the lion didn't do anything to him besides scratch him. That's what I see.
Well, I mean, it bit him in the shoulder, looked like.
Okay, so how did the lion start bleeding anyway?
Because he probably shot him and missed. or shot him and grazed him? Because he did shoot. Well, at
you
least
think
the trailer alluded that he did shoot.
It's not a stabbing situation?
No, because it didn't. Well, at least as far as what the trailer shows, it doesn't look like he really fought back. It looked like he just was getting mauled.
That backpack didn't help. I mean, is it too much?
I mean,
biting the guy's ear off.
It was his nose. It was his nose.
That was his nose.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize.
I do feel like that was a bit unnecessary.
It's because I understand you're giving into your animalistic side, but
and here's my thing.
Talk to me.
Because
this is our first trailer reaction.
I know.
So I'm trying to.
I want to know.
I want to be excited for this
because this is at 2:04. How much older is he than his younger brother? Because this frame here looks like they're like 2 years apart, right? At the most.
Okay. Yeah,
they look very close in age.
That. I can't see it being more than 3 years, no.
And then you get here, and he's talking to what I'm assuming is his little brother again, and they look at least like 5 years apart.
Hey man, he had a rough life. Man.
Just growing up in the jungle.
Out there in the jungle, trying to, run down a gazelle.
He looks like a whole ass man, and his little brother looks like he's still in college.
Right. So
maybe even high school.
So this movie desperately needs Spider-Man.
And I want to give these movies the benefit of the doubt. I really do. I want to give them a chance. I want to give them a fair shot. So of course, I'll reserve.
Can we have a universe without Spider-Man? Because let's be 100%. Morbius needed Spider-Man. Venom, by extension, needs Spider-Man. He still doesn't have the iconic Venom
look,
press, logo, whatever you want to say, because he hasn't gotten it from Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when he gets that, of course, it's going to be epic because he'll finally come into who he's supposed to be. But Kraven the Hunter, like you alluded earlier, he's Spider-Man. Like, his biggest hunt is Spider-Man. Kraven's last hunt is probably one of the biggest comic book storylines for this character.
Right.
And so you're not adapting that because you can't get to that because it's not earned.
But I mean, the thing about it is that Kraven was already established as the world's greatest huntsman before he gained any knowledge of Spider-Man. So with this being an origin story, then yeah, you can have a Kraven origin story without Spider-Man. You can technically have a Morbius origin story without Spider-Man. Venom, on the other hand, the comics was always Peter got the symbiote first. It went off of Peter, then found its way to Eddie Brock.
Because
it fed off of Eddie's hatred for Peter, which is why Venom was such a threat to Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know how it is when you break up with a girl. She's bitter. She's upset. So if anybody else is feeling the same, oh, you don't like him too? We're besties now. So that's why the bond was so.
Yeah, but so story-wise, a Kraven origin story can work on paper. And it's just, at some point, yes, you would have to introduce Spider-Man because you don't follow Kraven's story without ultimately getting to Spider-Man, having Kraven and Spider-Man cross paths. The premise of this, I understand the premise of this. I don't have a problem with the premise of it. The execution is where I feel like it may struggle. This in particular,
hey, you saw that? That was spider webs. Did you see how they had the DNA? So there's hints at spiders in
Well, I
here.
mean, we saw him laying under the trees full of the spiders that were falling down on him. I feel like that's a direct correlation.
Yeah.
But
so he's fearful of spiders now.
I don't know about all of that. I don't think this is a Batman type thing where you have to become what you fear.
It's not how it goes.
But
that's how it goes.
In the introduction of Rhino as a part of this, and I guess Rhino being like a henchman, I don't know if Rhino is going to be like a secondary villain to the story. I don't know.
There's some type of mutation going on. It has to be for Rhino to be able to turn into the Rhino.
Yeah, so that's
and him to have
That's what I'm thinking.
Lion ability. I've never seen a lion bounce off a wall though.
I don't know. I mean, cats do that.
Cats do climb trees, yes. Lions have been known to lay out in trees as well.
Because I mean, lions aren't typically inside, so we can't say for sure that lions won't run on walls.
Okay. So Sinister Six. So we're thinking Kraven,
Morbius, Vulture,
Vulture, not Venom.
No.
We need a new Doc Ock.
We need a new Doc Ock.
We need a new Green Goblin. Or we can have the Hobgoblin. Sandman can come back at any given point in time.
They would have to
Electro,
They would have to
we got
reboot
Shocker.
Sandman. I mean, do we have Shocker?
Well, we had a Shocker.
We had a Shocker.
We had two in the MCU. So is that what's next? Are we getting a Shocker movie next?
Yeah, I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt that.
Sony Universal Spider-Man villains. We get a Shocker movie. You get this. You get to see a Scorpion movie. You get to see the Vanguard.
I mean, the thing about it is that Spider-Man has so many villains that if you can create a cohesive story about any of them,
grabs?
I think so, because I really feel like because the way that they're doing it, it looks like they are building towards the Sinister Six, because it's an Avengers type thing. We can't care about the Avengers without having these characters be established.
I don't care about these guys. I don't care. It's a movie nobody asked for. Nobody wanted a Kraven movie. And you put one of these great guys with Aaron Taylor Johnson in to make it, something that we want. But at the same time, these characters stand out because they're Spider-Man's characters.
Right.
To make them an anti-hero or anti-villain character kind of diminish them as a character. And that's what we were saying earlier. Sometimes you just need a bad guy. You need to see him established already. Let him kill it. Let Spider-Man be swinging along. And one of the favorite things I loved about Spider-Man is when he's swinging along, enjoying being Spider-Man. And next thing you know, bam, Venom comes out of nowhere. It's like, what up, bitch? And Spider-Man can't sense it. And Spider-Man's like, I got too much other shit going on to deal with you.
Right.
So he's like, I got to knock him out or take care of him quick. And Venom is super strong, overpowers him. And it sucks because it's like, Venom is so much a Spider-Man antagonist. He comes, if Spider-Man runs away, Venom don't even have to chase because he know he can get him at any point in time. Just go ahead and enjoy your day. It's like, I made you late for school. You're late for your date. You can't get to your date on time. I'm just a nuisance. Come on, man. Just swing in, beat you up, and then let you go home. He is the ultimate bully.
He is. He really is. I'm rewinding this because I've noticed this in a couple of the fight scenes. There just seems to be like a little bit of just a stutter. Like when he came down and he's like taking the machete or whatever type of blade that he has, and he hits the guy,
it was a hammer,
whatever it is, but when he's hitting the guy in the head, it really looks like he slows down. Like if I play it at full speed, like the speed at which he's falling versus the speed at which he's hitting him in the head, it's like he slows down. And I noticed that too when they were in the truck and he was stabbing a guy in the neck. And it's really just, because for practical effects, you have to you're hitting somebody in the neck. You don't want to really hit them like that. Did you see? Because when he did it, it looked clearly fake. You saw how slow he brought his hand down to stab him in the neck?
Yes, but at the same time, I have no recourse.
I don't know. It's just hopefully, like we said with other trailers, hopefully it's just the way the trailer is cut.
No, it's not the way the trailer's cut. They need Spider-Man. There's. I understand you got to get these origin stories out the way. You know, Marvel and Disney did the same thing in Phase 4, introducing all the other new characters that they want to use in Phase 5, 6, and beyond. But we can't say if this movie is good or not because we haven't seen it. But
No.
from the elements of the trailer that we're looking at, I'm thinking, man, you want to fast forward.
He looks great though.
He looks like Kraven the Hunter.
He looks amazing. It's just
is a phenomenal actor. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. And maybe they're thinking that, you know, because he's here, he can carry the movie. But the fact that the accents are off already is just not a great. And then the Captain America-ish type of things, I don't know. But they have to do more. They have to separate them from exactly like Captain America. So he has to.
But so
someone's nose off.
I guess. But so, like, to your point, you said they have to have Spider-Man because the draw of this character is that he's a great Spider-Man villain. And so it's like, where's the disconnect where, because he's talking to the female lead, which I'm guessing is going to be a love interest because Kraven does have a wife. He says, my father brings evil men into this world. I take them out. So just from that statement alone, he's an anti-hero.
Okay. So
where does the turn happen to go from anti-hero to Spider-Man villain?
Well, here we go. Question time. That was your question.
And I mean, because I feel like that's the only way that we can have him become part of a Sinister Six, because it's like the same thing with Morbius. Morbius didn't take the serum in order to start attacking people. That was literally the reason why he had to stop Milo, because Milo was killing people. And for him to be a Spider-Man villain, Spider-Man is stopping him because he's doing something that's not good. And it's the same with Kraven. Spider-Man isn't going to stop Kraven because Kraven is killing people that, like, poachers and mercenaries and stuff like that. He may try to talk him out of it the kind of same way that Daredevil would try to talk the Punisher out of killing people. But at the end of the day, Punisher is still an anti-hero. He's still doing good. In the comics, Kraven is not an anti-hero. Kraven is a villain. Kraven hunts and kills people. And that's why Spider-Man is trying to stop him. And then also Spider-Man is trying to survive. So is it going to be a part of, he's just, because, like,
I think we're looking at a situation before a team up. Kind of like the Thunderbolts or somebody that's a secret organization, and then Spider-Man's going to be the target. That's how you'll get a Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Because, again, why would you attack Spider-Man? It's clear that he's done nothing against the law, but maybe, and that might have been a missed opportunity, the way they had said Spider-Man was a menace. That probably would have been a great way to bring Kraven in to hunt him, because like then you can see, then you can see he's doing the job of somebody that could be an anti-hero, because you're under the false impression that this guy is a menace,
right? So
a murderer,
right?
So he has to be stopped. That would have made sense, but it doesn't make sense to us now because
unveiled a theory that's going to turn into a prediction.
Well, hey, again, I don't know anyone. These are theories. Like
we've always said from the first time we started recording this show, a theory is not a spoiler if it ends up coming true.
I could rewrite the whole industry if y'all need me to. Just send me a check.
I don't know. It's just, it's unanswered questions. Yeah, we'll have to wait until the movie comes out to be able to get answers to these questions. But it's just, you can't ignore Sony's track record with these movies.
It has not been good.
It has not been good.
It has not been good at all. Stop.
And I don't even.
Spider-Man is what we want. We'll watch Miles Morales. Like, I feel like, no disrespect to nobody on this production team, but you could have took this budget and gave it to into Across the Spider-Verse so we could have got the next iteration that much sooner because we're invested in that. I don't want to see a Rhino origin story. I don't want to see Dr. Ock's origin story. I don't want Spider-Man has a rogues gallery of villains.
Yeah.
That works because there's put it like this, Spider. Would you want to see an origin story of Calendar Man?
Of course not.
Did you want to see an origin story of Condiment Man?
Condiment King, get it right.
Condiment, oh, you know what? You put some respect on his name. Condiment King, Batman's villain of the week. And that's what it is. Unless you're going to level up this villain.
No, let's not say that Kraven is on the same level of Condiment King.
I would never disrespect Kraven like that. He is the hunters of hunters. But here's the thing. Don't make him a kid that gets
bullied by his father and
have magical lion blood in the system. Show me his origin story that he was a bounty hunter or even a family of bounty hunters.
Mercenary or something.
A mercenary that always gets his guy. And then
something happens to where he's heightened and get these animalistic skills.
And then put a force together and have him fighting on what he believes is good. Then you can have a mutant rhino, this guy who was in a lab testing on rhino DNA because the rhino's horn is the magical Viagra of the world or whatever the situation is. And then he flips out. He's the rhino. He doesn't have to necessarily have the right train of thought when he's in rhino form. He's just like the Juggernaut in a sense. He got to run, and even though it's against what rhinos are, we can say the venom or whatever is in his system is making him rabid. And keep in mind, rabid, so we can cure him later on and use him later on in like a Sinister Six type of situation. Because now he's motivated by money or something else. Mm-hmm. He's stuck in this rhino form because the rhino doesn't change. So he's stuck in this rhino form and he needs money. He got to live. I need money and I'm not trying to work at Chick-fil-A looking like a rhino. It'd be my pleasure to get that condiments for you.
Big ass rhino in Chick-fil-A. He working in a drive-thru. He got the little vest and got the little computer taking people orders. Oh my God.
So you would have stories that make sense, right? So he was already a bounty hunter. He already joined the team. He got heightened. And now the next threat is this web-crawling spider insect kid. And now you're excited. You're like, well, he always gets his guy.
Right.
And Spider-Man is just a kid from Queens that we know is not the villain, but he doesn't know that. So we're waiting for them to collide.
Yeah.
You know what, Spider? I'm about to go because I just broke the internet or comics or just all things super in your face. Yeah, Mr. VIP drinking that juice.
But let us know what you think about this trailer for Kraven the Hunter. Are you excited about this movie? Are you looking forward to it?
Cut me and Spider a check. We can write your universe for you.
Do you think
Sony?
That this looks like it's going to be a good movie, or is it going to fall into the trend of everything else that Sony has done with the Spider-Man villain so far? Let us know. But remember, if you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite streaming platform. And if you want to join in on the conversation, just tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
The Spider-Man verse of villains who are reformed and now they're anti-villains.
You gotta put Sony in there too somewhere.
Sony's Spider-Man anti-venom anti-villain verse. I'll work on it. I'll work on a name for you.
We'll workshop that title. Oh my God. So we'll see what happens in October when this comes out. But until then, keep being super.